So are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So in the like by any chance you guys has practiced the session what we have discussed yesterday? You understand, or any questions as of now on that? Hello.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Any doubts on that? Guys?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay, it's all configurations here. So whatever the configurations we have done in a manual approach, instead of doing them as a manual approach, so we have done that by using
Spring annotations and XML.
yeah, Spring. First we have done with XML. So after that, we have done with XML files. We have done that, right? Oh, sorry. First we have done the XML, then followed by annotations. We have done that. Yeah. So let's do one thing. In a project, really, do you need to do all these configurations, or we don't need to do that? Whatever we have done yesterday's class, really, whether we have to do that or not required?
Not required.
Why not required? How many times these configurations will be done in a project?
Only one time.
Only one time. So as this is done only one time in a project, we will never get a chance to do this. Okay. When you move on to Spring Boot, in Spring Boot, that problem also will not be there. The reason is, instead of we write the code, Spring Boot will take care of that particular code and they'll process that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's do one thing. In today's session, not much from my side here. Okay. I'm going to give you the requirement. I want you guys to try that. Okay. MySQL-u root. Just connecting to the database. Use MOC. MOC or BMS?
MOC.
Yeah,
MOC.
Yeah, use MOC. Okay. There are a couple of records will be there. Okay. Select star from emp underscore table. Now truncate the table. Okay. Now, guys, in a real-time project, are we going to really write the code, database code, inside your app.java, or where are we going to write the code?
DAO layer.
Yeah, it's mandatory that we have to write the code in a separate layer called as DAO layer. Okay, so let me explain one architecture here. Generally, how exactly the architectures will be available in a project. Let me explain that. Okay, let me try to draw one small diagram. Okay, in every project, it's mandatory that we'll be having a database, right, to store the data. Okay, inside this database, we'll be having all the tables. Okay, but as of now, what we have done is we are writing all the code only in one program, like app.java, we are writing it. But that is not a good practice to do that. Always we have to write them in a separate programs and then do that. Okay, now in a real-time project, always the database related code we will write in a separate layer called a separate program called as DAO. What program is that?
DAO.
DAO. Let me write down that. So what is the DAO stands for?
Data access object.
Data access object. It's a pure Java program here with a couple of methods. Like for example, you want to insert a record. Inside this, you'll have a method called as save. You want to update a record. You'll have a method like update. You'll be having delete a record. You'll be having a method delete. And in this DAO, we'll have only the code to interact with database. Apart from database interaction code, we are not going to have any other code inside this DAO. Okay, so a pure code which is contains what? Quick. Code to interact with
database.
Apart from code to interact with database, you are not going to have any other code in the DAO layer. Okay, you may ask, what is the advantage of this approach? Yes, the advantage is today we are using JDBC as a DAO layer. Okay, tomorrow, because of some reason, we want to upgrade it to Hibernate. Okay, without touching the complete program, we are going to touch only the DAO layer so that we can easily change the project and deliver it. Are you guys comfortable with the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what? Yes.
Maintenance is easy. If we in the future we want some modification, then we'll touch only one program.
One program. That's the beauty of this DAO layer. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Then what I want to do is business logic. I would like to write the business logic. So business logic is, we should not write the business logic in DAO. We will always write the business logic in a separate program called as service layer. It is also a pure Java program only. A class with a couple of methods, we are going to have it. That's it. Apart from that, you'll not have any other issues here. Okay, so now let's do one thing. This is called as service classes. Okay, let me add the text here. Service. Okay, some people call this as business service class. Some people call this as service class. Okay, the complete business logic will write inside the service class. Okay, now what service classes does is service classes will have a code to interact with whom?
Client.
DAO. Okay, so now let me connect these two things also now. Okay, service is connecting, calling the methods of whom? DAO. Okay, let's do in a reverse manner. Connector. Okay, like this, let me do it so that practically you can understand. Yes, service internally calls which code?
DAO.
DAO code will internally call whom?
Database.
Okay, now let's do one thing. Now in a project, we'll be having something like controllers also. Okay, controller is nothing but it is like a servlet here. Okay, either it can be a servlet or it can be a filter. Okay, now we'll be writing this particular controller here. Controller is same as your servlet. We call this as MVC architecture. Controller. So what the controller does is, okay, he is going to take a decision, okay, which service to be called, and he is going to call the service layer here. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Controller is going to call service. Service is going to call DAO. DAO is really going to interact with database. Okay, so this is architecture. Now, the most important thing is JSPs. Okay, a presentation logic. Okay, so we are going to have a couple of JSPs here. Okay, so now, whenever you do any work, okay, let's do one thing. Copy paste is taking time. Let's do one. Let me write the name and write the let me write the name and then copy paste JSP. Okay, we are going to have multiple JSPs also here. Okay, so whenever we send the request from the JSP, always the request will go to whom?
Controller.
Controllers. Okay, are you comfortable with the concept now?
Yes, sir.
What? Yes.
Whenever a request comes from the browser, it will first redirect to the controller. Controller will take the responsibility which service we need to call.
Yeah.
And from that service, it will call DAO layer. From the DAO layer, we connect to the database and get the results.
Yeah, get the results. Okay, now we have retrieved the data from the database here. What happened here? Why these extra things has come? Better. Assume that we got the data from the database here. So once if you retrieve the data from the database, next what will happen? This is inflow. Similar to the outflow also we need to have it or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So whenever we retrieve the data from the DAO, that data will be given back to whom?
DAO layer and service.
Service. That will be given back to whom?
Controller.
Controller.
And it decides the value or
Yeah.
JSP?
to the view layer.
Yeah, view layer. So view JSP is responsible to display that particular output to the browser. Are we comfortable with the concept of this architecture flow or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Always this controller is developed only in web module. It is not possible to develop the controllers in standalone application. But what are the application which we are trying to develop now? Is what type of code is it? Is really is it a normal standalone application, or it is a web-based application?
Standalone.
Okay, as this is a standalone application, in this project, can I have a controllers or we cannot have it?
We cannot have it.
We cannot have it. So what is my plan now is, without using controllers, I want to develop service classes as well as DAO classes. I want to do that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is the code we are going to write in the service? Business logic. Okay. So from this business logic, we are going to make a request to DAO. DAO is going to interact with database. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now let's do one thing. But instead of JSPs, I'm going to write my own main program, app.java. So app.java will directly give the data to whom?
Service.
Service will give the data to whom?
DAO.
DAO will interact with whom?
Database.
Okay. I'm going to give you some enough time for you to think about this architecture. Okay. Let me save this also here. In future, I can use that. Okay. Browse. 1 minute. Let me place that into a Spring software. Or Spring. Not Spring, very Spring. Another folder is not there. Okay. Spring software. Yeah. No. Place that outside. One minute. Let me create outside and come back. Okay, let me save this because I need this diagram in future classes also. Spring software. We call this as MVC architecture. Okay, save it. So I'm going to give you enough time for you to understand that diagram here. Okay, now let's do one thing. Now we have a database table here. Okay, are there any records available, or there are no records available in this table?
We have one record.
No. I have truncated the table, right?
No records.
No records. Okay. Now I'm going to give you the requirement. You guys have to do that. Okay. For the time being, you forget about the architecture. Architecture, we are okay. I want you to insert one record into employee table here. Okay. You take care of it. Tell me the code.
Container.getBeanof.
Container.getBeanof.
JDBC template.class.
Yeah, JDBC template.class. Okay, fine. JDBC template.class. Okay, semicolon. Control 1. Okay. I got the JDBC template object. Okay. Now tell me what to do now.
We call the methods according to our requirement.
Yeah.
To create a service
Okay.
class and all.
No, service class will do that. But I've given just architecture for preparing for the next topic here. Okay. So at that time, immediately I don't want to explain, and immediately I don't want to move. That is the reason I have given this, giving some time for you.
Okay.
Tell me. I want to insert my records into table. That's a requirement.
JDBC template dot update.
JDBC template dot update.
Update.
Okay. Update of this method only, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is this method? A method which takes your SQL query, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now what I have to do?
Write the query, sir.
Write the query. Okay. Let me prepare the query also. Let me prepare the query also. String SQL is equal to insert into
to EMP underscore table.
Okay. EMP underscore table.
Values.
Values of, let's enter some dummy data here. 1, Sumant. 1, Sumant, 10,000. Okay. when you look at this query, is this query looks like a statement object or is it looking like a prepared statement object?
Statement
Statement
object.
object.
It is looking like a statement object. But in a real-time project, are we going to really use statement object? Or are we going to use a prepared statement object?
Prepared
Which one is the
statement.
best?
Prepared statement object.
Prepared statement for dynamic values.
Yeah, not only dynamic, there are so many problems will be solved by using prepared statement. Your SQL injection and all of them will be solved by using prepared
Prepared
statement.
statement.
Okay, fine. Anyway, this is a bad way of writing the code, but I'm doing that. Okay, do that. Right click, run as Java application. Guarantee query will be executed, program will be terminated. Yeah, got terminated. Now go here, select star from EMP, enter. Okay, we got the record here. One record is successfully inserted. Okay, now I want to update the salary of this employee here. I want to update it to 20,000. How do you do that?
Write the query to update the record.
Do I need to change this code or not required to change?
Not required.
Yeah, not
Just
required,
query.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, query. I want to update the salary to 20,000. Help me.
Update
Update.
table.
EMP underscore table. Set
Set
salary
salary
equal to 20,000. Where E number equal to 1.
equal to 1. Okay.
Okay. Right click, run as Java application. Okay. Guarantee record also will be updated. Okay. Got terminated here. Verify that. Select star from EMP underscore table. Record is also inserted. Now I want to delete the record. Do you think that, do I need to change any code or not required to change anything?
Not required, sir. Just
Code
change
not
the query.
required.
Change the
Delete
query.
from EMP
underscore
table.
table where E
E
number
number
equal to 1.
1. Okay. So now with one update method, are we able to finish all the tasks or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now go to the database, verify that. Select star from EMP underscore table. Are there any records available? Are there no records available?
No records available.
No records available, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because record has been successfully got deleted from the database. Okay. Really, do you see any problem in this code what we are developing?
Yes.
For all DML operations, we are using only one method.
Only one method. That is fine. Okay. Even we can have a return type of this method also. That return type. Yeah. So is this like a statement object? Is it looking or is it looking like a prepared statement?
Statement object.
But we should never use this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I need?
We need to replace that with prepared statement.
Prepared statement. No idea for me. I want you guys to insert the records here. Okay. Again, insert into EMP underscore table.
Values. Question mark.
Positional parameters. I'm using it, right?
Yes.
Guys, it's your headache to find the story and do that. Don't ask me.
JDBC template dot.
JDBC template dot.
Update.
Okay. Update. Very good. Update of what?
Prepared statement.
Prepared statement. Third one, sir.
This one?
No, third one.
This is third
fourth one. Fourth one. Sorry.
Oh, why not this one?
That is, we don't know, something prepared statement creator.
Okay. They are giving you a lot of information there. Okay. They're saying that update of prepared statement creator. Okay. Key holders. Okay. Prepared statement setters. Okay. We don't know them yet. Okay.
Yes, sir.
We will come to know them later point of time here. Give me some time for that. Okay. So you are going to understand all of them also here. Okay. So what we are going to do now is, I cannot use this. So your target now is you need to find a method which suits your requirement. That's what we need to find it. Okay. Apart from that, we cannot do any change here. Whichever the method suits your requirement, you need to find it. Okay. Guess which method you maybe suits your requirement.
Prepared statement setter.
But are we aware of prepared statement setter? Are we aware of anything about that, or we are not aware of it?
We are not aware
We're not
of it,
aware.
sir.
Yeah, we are not aware of it.
We need to go to API.
No need to go to API. Find a method.
Fourth one. Fourth.
Yeah. Okay.
Fourth
What
one.
is that fourth one? If you feel that that's right one, yeah, try that. What is that fourth one?
Give the SQL and parameters. No,
What parameters?
that is sorry. Object parameters.
Enable arguments.
Whereas. Okay. If it is a whereas,
We can give 3 positional parameters.
okay, let's try that. No problem. You're right. Maybe you're right. SQL, comma. What we need?
We have to provide the values with comma separator.
Yeah, let's do one thing. Let's say 1, comma, double quotes of Sumant. Okay, comma, oh, sorry, mistake. Not the last. Comma, 20,000 D. No need to specify D also, 20,000. Oh, what's your expectation? Do you think that this code is going to work?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's run that. Let's test that. Okay, go to the database here, select star from EMP. There are no records available here. Okay, let's do one thing. Execute the code. Click. Right click.
Run as Java application.
Right click. Run as Java application. Yeah. When I run that as a Java application, yep. Oh, very good. What happened here?
It's terminated.
Terminated. Okay. We are completely able to see it's been got terminated. Select star from employee underscore table. Oh, are we able to insert the records or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So guarantee prepared statement is working now. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So only one change what I have observed here is you should not supply the values directly. Instead of supply the values directly, what we have to do? We need to have a positional parameters. All the positional parameters has to be supplied as a parameter to this function. Are we comfortable with the concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Do you want any more examples for update records and delete records also? Are you be comfortable with this only?
We're comfortable.
comfortable.
with this
No?
We're comfortable, sir.
Oh, when you are writing a delete query, maybe hardly you have to write that delete query. Okay.
Yes.
So whenever you write the delete query, you'll be using a positional parameters. Okay. In the positional parameters,
We have to
We
in
have
the
to
where
supply the
condition one position number positional parameter.
key
As
number
a-
positional parameter, we have to supply it. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
But you have to think about how do we achieve this in a DAO layer? Because today, I will be entering the data from the keyboard. Directly I will use it. But tomorrow, do I need to transfer the data from this program to DAO or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So how do we transfer this data from this program to DAO?
In terms
Object.
The form of object.
Yeah, in the form of objects.
Object.
of getters and setters.
We are going to allow in the form of getters and
Setters.
setters, and then we are going to supply that.
Yes.
Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have done this code. Okay. Let's do one thing. I don't know whether you have observed or not. As of now, most of the code, what we have done as of now is with respect to either inserting a record or updating a record or deleting a record. But as of now, I have not explained the code. How do we retrieve the records from the
Table.
tables? Okay. For this, it's a different approach here. Okay. Let's do one thing. First, learn about that approach, and after that, we will think about writing the code. Okay. To understand that, I have to introduce a word called as callback methods. Okay. Now let's do one thing. Let's try to draw a diagram here. In JDBC, is result set object transferable or result set object is not transferable?
Not transferable.
What is the meaning of it?
Once the connection object is closed, the data will be vanished.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the connection object is closed, we'll not be able to send the data back. Okay. From the result set object. Okay. Let's do one thing. Assume that this is a database here. Okay. And in Spring, am I interacting with a database, or is it the responsibility of Spring framework to interact with the database? Spring framework. Assume that this is a JDBC template, Spring framework here. Okay. Assume that there is a method available to get the data. Get data from DB is a method. We are having a query here, string SQL query we have. Okay. Inside this, we are going to get the connection object, right? Yeah. We got the connection. Okay. Data source dot get connection. We got the connection object. From the connection, we are going to create the statement object also. Connection dot
Create statement.
Create statement. Okay. We are going to get one object, statement object, stmt. Okay. Successfully we got that also. Stmt dot execute query, not update. This is retrieving record, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Execute query of what is the output we are going to give you here? Yeah, parameter SQL. It is going to return one result set object, RS. Okay. I have completed all my tasks. In the same method, we are going to close all of them. rs.close. Okay. As well as stmt.close. As well as connection.close. Okay. So now tell me, all this code, we are writing in one method, right? Okay. So now tell me, this is my program now. Let me draw one more box also. Assume that this is my program now. Okay. From my program, I'm going to call this method. I'm going to call which method? Get data from database. That method I'm going to call. Now, one quick question here. Whenever I call this method, guys, what will happen? Quick. You guys have to try to answer that.
It has to return results set object.
No. Watch this code here. We are opening a connection.
Yeah.
We are opening a statement. We are closing the result set object. We are executing the query. We got the result set object. In the same method, what are we doing?
You are closing
We
the
are
connection.
closing that also.
Okay. If I close this result set object, do you think that can I send the data back to this result set object, or we cannot send?
We cannot.
Not send.
We cannot send. So now, if I call some methods in Springer, can we return the result set object to the program which is available, which is calling or not? Or we cannot do that?
We cannot do that.
Cannot do that.
We cannot do that. For this, what Spring guys has done is they have come up with a concept called as callback methods. What is it?
Callback
Callback method.
methods.
Yeah. So we are going to use callback methods here. So let's do one thing. What the callback method does is, okay, as of now, to this method, how many parameters we are giving here?
One parameter.
One parameter. Now, I'll change the code later point of time here. Now, what I'm going to do here is, as the result set object cannot be transferable, and your Spring doesn't know how to process that. So what we are going to do is, we are only going to develop one class to process result set object. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What is?
We are going to develop one class to process the result set, as the result set object is not transferable.
Okay. So what? Okay. Who is good? Okay. Why Spring cannot transfer that here? That's what is my question here. Instead of me writing the code, why Spring cannot convert this into cannot convert into data and they cannot give it? That's my question.
Closing the connection.
Leave the closing the connection.
The Spring only.
Yeah. Okay. Question here. Who is having the data?
The result set.
Result set. Okay. To whom I have to give this result set object?
User program.
To this calling program, right?
Yes.
Come on here.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Calling program, I have to give it.
Yes.
But unfortunately, after this method execution is completed, what will happen? Is the result set object is closed or result set object is still alive?
Result set.
It's closed.
Get closed.
If it is closed, can I access the data inside this inside the program, or we cannot access it?
We
cannot
cannot access.
We cannot access it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, what I want to do now is like this. Before closing the connection, my program object, I will give it to this particular program in between. So before closing the connection, Spring is going to call my class. Are you able to follow this?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Spring
sir.
is going to call my class. So whenever we call my class, that result set object, they are going to give it to me. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
They are going to give us result set object because I know what to do with the result set object, right? So I will process that. Okay. And what I will do is I will return one array list object or list object. Some value I'm going to return that. So now the return type of this method is always going to be like not array list. I don't want to say array list. I want to use an interface here, list. But who has to prepare this list? Whether this class has to prepare or Spring only will prepare that.
The callback
Class
class
has
is
to prepare.
Callback. So now in Spring, we are going to call Spring methods. Okay. Spring methods internally call our code here. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What is?
We have to prepare the list so that Spring can call.
Yeah, we are going to prepare the list, and that list is going to be written by your Spring framework. Are we comfortable with the concept here? So a bit lengthy code I have to develop in Spring to process that particular code to return that particular value here. Are you guys comfortable with how exactly we are going to retrieve the data from database and give it to the Spring? So with one program is sufficient, or we have to develop one extra program?
Have to develop one extra program.
Yeah, that program is called as callback interface or callback method. We have to develop it. Okay, so inside this program, what we are going to do is Spring has provided two interfaces to process that. What they have done? They have provided how many interfaces?
Two interfaces.
Two interfaces. The first interface name is result set extractor. No, why it's not working here. 1 minute, save it. Spring software. Okay, leave it. Yeah, I need to write two interfaces are there. One is result set extractor. Next one is row mapper. So two ways are there to process the data in Spring framework. Okay, so without developing these interfaces, really do you think that can we retrieve the data or we cannot retrieve the data?
Cannot retrieve the data.
We cannot retrieve the data from the database.
Result set.
Database.
Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to develop these programs. What programs? Result set extractor or row mapper programs. We have to do that. Okay. Now I want to know more information about this result set extractor and row mapper. Can anyone help me to do that?
Go to API and see the documentation.
Yeah. Go to API and do that. But how? Like it's a lengthy process here.
Control
Go to
Shift
API.
T.
Yeah. Very good. Control Shift T.
Result set extractor.
Result set
Extractor.
extractor. Okay, look at this and answer. Is the result set extractor, is it an interface or is it a class?
It's an interface.
Interface.
It's an interface. Okay, so let's do one thing. What I want to do is I want to see what an interface contains. Okay, generally an interface can contain any number of functions here. Okay, but look at this here. What is that?
Functional interface.
Functional
Yeah.
interface.
Tell me, what is a functional interface?
Only
It
one
has
method.
One method.
Yeah, an interface which is having only one method is called as
Functional
interface.
interface.
functional interface, right? Okay.
Yes.
At any cost, this interface is going to have only one method. Now, look at that here. How many methods we have here?
One method.
One method. What is the method name? Everything is important for me here. What is the method name?
Data.
Extract data.
Extract data. Okay. So now this extract data is taking a parameter here. What is a parameter?
Result set.
Result set.
Result set. Okay. And what is the return type of that?
Generic type.
It's a T. T stands for generic. We don't know the return type of that here. Okay. Based on a requirement, it is going to return that. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yeah. We can return any type here. Okay. Any type is fine. Okay. So now let's do one thing. I want you to start spending some time in discussing about this interface here. Okay. So now tell me, really, do you think that can I directly use that interface in my project, or I have to provide the implementation to that?
We have to provide
Yeah,
it.
provide the implementation to that.
Yeah, we have to provide the implementation. If I provide the implementation, who is going to call? Am I going to call, or Spring is going to call that?
Going to call that.
Spring has to call that particular stuff. Okay. So before doing all, let's do one thing. What I want to know is, first of all, what is the method which we are going to use to retrieve the records? I have to learn that. Okay. JDBC template is fine. Okay. Now we are going to use update method to do all the tasks. What to do all the tasks? Insert record, update record, delete record. All that operations we have done. But I want you to find the method to retrieve the records. But unfortunately, I don't know the method name. Can you guys find that method?
JDBC template dot.
Yeah. Dot.
Execute.
No. Watch all the methods once. You'll get the clarity. There are so many methods available.
Query methods.
Yeah. There is a method with the name query method. Okay. Now, yeah, start focusing on the query method. Okay. Do you think that are we having only one query method, or are we having so many query methods?
So many query.
Yeah. You need to find this query method. Which query method to be used?
The one highlighted.
If we
So you want this? Try to understand that. Maybe you're right. We'll see that.
Yeah, if we'll not use prepared statement, then this is the one.
Yeah, we are not going to use prepare statement, any prepare statement here. Let's do one thing here. Look at this and answer. What? Look at this method and answer.
It will take two parameters, SQL query and result set extractor.
Okay, it is taking two parameters. What are the two parameters? First one is SQL query. What is the second one? I'm more interested in the second one.
result set extractor.
But what is result set extractor? Is the result set extractor is an interface, or result set extractor is a class?
Interface.
But how can I supply interface as a parameter here?
Spring only provided inner classes.
Implementation for that.
So from now onwards, whenever you see something in the parameter here, okay, example, result set extractor. Result set extractor is an interface. Directly, can you supply the interface object here, or we have to provide the implementation to that?
Implementation.
We have to provide the
Implementation class as an object.
implementation classes for that. So now tell me, what is my work I have to do now?
Provide implementation for that interface.
Yeah, we have to provide the implementation. Implementation class object you have to supply here.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
What is?
Implementation class object you have to supply as a parameter.
Yeah, we have to supply implementation class object as the parameter or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So, okay, you need to develop an implementation class and do that, right?
Yes.
Are you comfortable?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now leave all. Now, okay, watch this. Tell me, what is that method? Tell me the method name.
Execute statement.
Execute. Look at the parameter carefully. What is the parameter?
Statement callback.
Statement callback.
Statement callback. I'm not asking to read. Okay, I want you to understand and tell me what is that.
For when we
Okay,
use the
okay,
statement.
leave it. 1 minute. Where is this query method? Explain this method. Query is a method which takes how many parameters?
Two
Two
parameters.
parameters.
What are the two parameters?
SQL
SQL
statement.
query.
Set
Yeah.
extract.
SQL query, comma, what is the second parameter?
Result
Result set
extractor.
What is the result extractor first? Is the result set extractor is an interface or not?
Interface.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that interface? Are we going to supply an interface as a parameter, or we are going to supply implementation class object as a parameter?
Implementation class object as a parameter.
Okay. If you really understand, guarantee you can answer this also. Where is that? Okay. Explain this. Try attempt. I know it's a bit tricky part. Once if you understand one, all the remaining things are easy.
We execute an isn't method which it's take the statement callback as the parameter.
Very good. Hold on. It is taking statement callback as a parameter. But what is that statement callback? Can I say is it a class or is it an interface?
Interface.
Well, yes, that's it.
Interface. So
It's
we
an
have to
interface.
provide the implementation for that.
So from today onwards, whenever you see any method here, any method, if it is taking something as a parameter here, okay, example like prepare statement creator. When you see this, what is that? Is it a class or is it an interface?
Interface.
Interface. Are we clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I have to do? Do you think that, do I need to provide the implementation to that, or directly can I use that interface?
Implementation.
How to provide the implementation for that interface.
Yeah. So we have to provide the implementation to that interface, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. That class object, we have to do that. You look at any program inside this, okay, any method which takes this, we have to do the similar code here. Means a class which provides the
Implementation.
implementation of that interface, we have to do that.
Okay.
Are we comfortable with this concept?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So,
Okay. Now, Roman. 1 minute.
Above, sir. Third.
Explain this.
That is for row mapper is an interface, so which we have to provide the implementation class object for that
Yeah.
interface.
We have to provide the implementation class object to that, and we have to use it. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
sir,
Okay. Explain this. Come on,
That
quick.
method we have to pass two parameters.
Yeah,
As
two
those-
parameters.
Yeah, as those are
Yeah.
interface, we have to provide the implementation for that and pass the objects.
Okay. How many implementations we have to do that? Only one implementation sufficient,
Two.
or we have to do multiple implementations?
Two
implementations.
implementations.
Yeah, we have to provide two implementations. What two implementations?
Prepared statement creator and result set extractor.
Yeah, prepare statement creator we have to supply, as well as
Result set extractor.
yeah, results and extractor also we have to do that. Okay, so tell me, really, do we need to spend a lot of time in understanding these interfaces or not? Why? Because most of the times, most of the predefined methods is having interfaces or they are having classes.
Interfaces.
Interfaces. Okay, so really we have to be too good in understanding this. Maybe first example takes a little time here, but after that, all the remaining examples are going to be same. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now we will first use this particular code here. What is the first method here?
Query method
Query
which takes the SQL
Ah.
query and results set extractor object.
Yeah, SQL query and results and extractor object. Okay. I want you to start the work here. Quick.
First, we need to provide the implementation for that interface, sir.
Yeah, do it.
Create a class.
Create a class.
Class.
Okay. Tell me. Right click.
New
New
class.
class.
Class. Result
Okay.
set extractor
Wait.
IMPL.
Wait. 1 minute. Okay. First thing is I want to retrieve all the records from the employee table here. Okay.
Okay.
That is one query, one method we'll be writing. Okay. Next, I'll be writing one more method to search for a employee name whose name is let's say Anil. Okay. For that, I have to write another query. Right? Means another result extractor I have to write. So like that, for every query, I have to write one
Implementation class.
implementation class. So most of the time, when you write the class name, your table name should be represent in that particular implementation class here. Otherwise, it looks like a difficult part, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, from which table we are planning to retrieve the data?
EMP table.
Yeah, employee table. So I have answered.
EMP result set extractor IMPL.
Employee EMP result set extractor. Yeah, click on finish. Start writing the code.
Yes, sir.
Implements.
Implements,
Implements
Result
result
set
set extractor.
result set, extractor.
Extractor.
Okay, sir. Whenever I write this code, they are giving T here. This T indicates generic. Here, okay, I'll for the time being do one thing. Remove this T. After that, I'll explain. Come back. Why they are giving an error message?
Add unimplemented methods.
Okay, add unimplemented methods. Write down that. Place the mouse cursor. Add unimplemented methods. Okay, as you asked me, I have done the unimplemented methods here. Okay, sir, what is the return type of this? What is the method name here?
Extract.
Data.
What is the parameter of this?
Result
Result
set
set.
object.
Okay, what is the return type of this method here?
Object.
Object.
Yeah, object, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now one small question here. Sir, who is going to call this method? Am I going to call or Spring is going to call this method?
Spring will
is going
call,
to
sir.
that.
Okay, for the time being, don't write any logic. Okay, just remove this, write one system.out.println so that we'll understand how exactly is going to call this. Okay, we are in
Extract data.
extract data. Yeah, that's a method which we are writing, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so let's do one thing. First, I want to call this particular app.method, app.java, and I want to see how exactly it is working in the back. Just try that, make an attempt.
Sir, we haven't.
Sorry?
We haven't.
How to make it as a string bean, sir.
Which one?
Result set extractor.
No. This is not a Spring Bean, right? Because we are going to create the object and we are going to supply. It's not a Spring Bean.
Okay, sir.
Hmm.
Just go to app.java.
Hmm.
JDBC template dot query.
Query method of this method I am going to say. Okay. What is the first parameter? SQL query. Okay. Let me write down that. String SQL is equal to select star from emp underscore tbl. Okay. Table name we are writing that here. Okay. That SQL query we have supplied here. But
We
what is
have
the
to
second
pass
parameter here?
New EMP result set extractor.
Yeah, very good. We need to create the object to that. New EMP result set extractor. Your responsibility is only this. You have to develop an implementation class for that, and you have to create the object to that, and just you have to call that. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
So we are calling that. Okay. Let's do one thing. I want to run this program and I want to check that. Right click, run as Java application. If I run that as a Java application, tell me what happens here.
It's a string is calling extract data method.
Yeah, it is calling extract data method or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so but am I calling that method or who is calling that method?
Spring.
String is calling.
Okay, when you guys tell me Spring is calling, that is a 10,000 feet high level you are telling me. Now inside Spring, which method is calling that?
Extract data callback method.
Inside Spring, who is
Sorry,
calling this
container.
extract?
Container.
Container.
No. Yeah. Container is also a Spring container. Spring container is not doing that. Okay, I'll give a hint also. To which method you are giving that results and extractor object?
Extract data.
The query method of JDBC template.
So query object. Sorry, query method.
Yeah.
The internal code of query method is calling whom?
Result set
Result set
extractor.
Which method it is calling?
Extract data.
I want a practical proof saying that query method only is calling it. Can I see the source code of query method?
Yes, sir.
Control.
Okay.
Okay, F3. When I press F3, we are going inside that particular code. Sir, this is not our code. Okay, it's a predefined code. Okay, just watch. Oh, result set object. RS is equal to stmt dot
Execute query.
Execute query.
execute query. After we got the result set object, what they are doing here?
On top of that, they are calling extract data.
Yeah, on top of that, they are calling a method called as
Extract data
Extract
method.
Extract data. So whenever extract data method is called, is my code is executing or not? This result extractor is calling or not?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now tell me, who is really calling that particular extract data method?
Query
Query
method.
Internal code of query method is calling. But one question, how come my query method know which class object we called? We are only giving
Based
that
on
which class.
the object we have passed.
Yeah, based on the object which we have asked, they are calling it. So any doubt in this particular code? So now tell me, how do we retrieve the data from database in Spring JDBC? Is it like directly like normal JDBC code or it's a bit lengthy code?
Because
Bit lengthy code.
Yeah. What is the problem? What is the bit lengthy code we are doing here? We are trying to develop a class which provides implementation of
results set extract.
Result set extractor interface.
results and extract interface. Okay. So now let's do one thing. And we are supplying that object as an input to query method.
Query
And the query method is calling that particular extract data method. Are we comfortable with this concept?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let's do one thing. What I want now is, but I'm not displaying the data at any data. Okay. Can anyone help me? How do we display the data?
So,
We have to
why
process that.
Write the code to display. Where is the result set object?
results object is a return type of query method.
Yeah. Go to employer results and extract data, right? Inside that we have a method called as extract data. Inside this extract data, do you have a result set object or not?
Yes.
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 Process it. Problem will be solved.
While rs dot
Rs dot.
next.
Yeah. While
Rs dot next.
Rs dot
rs dot next.
next.
Very good. Display it.
So
Sysout of
result of rs dot
get string of 1.
1.
Hey, I'm a lazy fellow here, so directly using rs dot get string of 1, 2, 3 and all. Never do this work in a project. Okay. rs dot get string of 2, rs dot get string of 3. Okay, let's execute that. Run as Emboss application, app.java. Oh, are we able to get the records or not?
Yes.
But my doubt is, why we have received only one data?
Because there is only one data.
One
available.
request, only one set of data will be extracted.
No, here,
Only one data is
There
there.
was only one request.
One
Record
data.
is there.
one record is there. If you insert 2 records, code is going to work. Insert into emp underscore table, values 2, comma, just say Bharat, comma, 20,000. Okay, use commit. Now 2 records are there. Let's execute our code. Run as app. When you try to run this as app, this time, are we able to get the 2 records or not?
Sir.
Yeah. So tell me, whenever we call results extractor, how exactly the code is going to work?
It will search for implementation class.
Yeah, it will search for the implementation class. And the query method, it is going to send the query to the database. Once the records has come, the data will be given as input to the
Results set.
Extract data.
Yeah, extract data method.
extract data. So what extract data is doing? Extract data takes the data, takes the results of the object and processing or not.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any questions, doubt as of now on the code? Guys, are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's do one thing. Sir, actually today I have some office meeting here. Okay. I need to connect to that. Like 12:15 is my office meeting. I need to connect to that. I have to get prepared for that here. Can we stop for today?
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
Yeah. We'll see in tomorrow's session here. Please practice and come back. Tomorrow I'm going to explain about inner classes as well as I'm going to explain about anonymous inner Lambda also we're going to see that. We'll see in tomorrow's session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.